Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is the fifth Mission Impossible film directed by Christopher McQuarrie and written by him, and brings back Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt as he is on the search for the Syndicate. Basically, this Rogue Nation, or an anti-IMF that specializes in everything that the IMF does. And to make things even more interesting, the IMF has been dissolved, leaving Ethan, Benji, Brent, and Luther wanted for treason against the US, especially the first three for the events in Ghost Protocol. So without any support, Ethan and the gang go after the Syndicate while they have encounters with this mysterious woman who might or might not have some sort of strange connection with the Syndicate. Now before this, I've only seen one Mission Impossible movie, and that's Ghost Protocol. It's the one that Brad Bird directed. I think it's fantastic, one of my favorite action movies. I might do a review for it on this channel sometime in the future, but until then you can check out the review I did on Leah Heather's channel, Leah Heather's Review, for her Tom Cruise week. So go check that out. But now we have Rogue Nation, and it's directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who did Jack Reacher, another Tom Cruise movie from 3 years ago, which I heard was pretty good. So I would think it'd make a lot of sense for him to take on another Tom Cruise project, like Mission Impossible, and it results in a very, very good action movie. I don't like it as much as Ghost Protocol, and there will be reasons for that. The cast is great. Tom Cruise still delivers as Ethan Hunt. He's still very athletic, willing to do a lot of the stunts himself, especially that plane scene where he's strapped to a plane as taking off. And if you've seen the behind the scenes footage, you know that he was actually strapped to that plane, and it's insane. Simon Pegg is still great as Benji, that comic relief that still proves that he's a badass and is not there just for comic relief. Jeremy Renner and Ving Rhames are also great as Brent and Luther, respectively. And as for Ving Rhames, I've never been that familiar with the character of Luther outside of the cameo in Ghost Protocol. But from what I've seen in this movie, since he has a bigger role, I've actually grown to like this guy. I'd like to see the other Mission Impossible movies to see more of him. But as a character, and in terms of Ving Rhames' performance, I think it's pretty cool. And then we have some other faces that are great additions also. We have Alec Baldwin as head of the CIA. He came off as a little bit of a cliche, I thought, and I thought that they were going to do some stupid plot twist with him. But what they actually do with him as the movie goes on, and once you get to the end of the movie, I thought was pretty clever, and he really ended up being a great addition. And another great addition to this movie is Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa. I've not really seen this woman in any other roles outside of this, but this was definitely a fantastic first impression. She's very charismatic, she's beautiful, and I love that her character is a true badass, similar to how Paula Patton was in Ghost Protocol. She also carries a lot of mystery around her. I mean, I know in the trailer you see her helping Ethan Hunt break out of being imprisoned, but as you watch the movie, you have no idea what's going on with her. You are constantly guessing what her deal is, and that's one of the best things in any kind of movie, is when you are trying to figure out what's going on with these characters, and you just can't make it out until you get to the end of the movie. So I thought she was a really great addition, and I have a feeling it's not going to be too long before we see her as a Bond girl. I'll put money on that. No, actually, I won't put money on that. Never mind, but I bet she will be a Bond girl at some point in her career. The action scenes are exciting. There's a lot of great set pieces, like when Ethan's underwater. It's tense, it's thrilling, there's hardly any music that plays during it, and it's one of the things that Ghost Protocol also did well, is have action scenes that keep you on the edge of your seat. Another one is this motorcycle chase through Casablanca that might be one of the best, like the top 5 best motorcycle chases I've ever seen in film. Like, it's intense, it's fast, you're on the edge of your seat, it's just really, really well done. Now, the movie does have some issues, and one of the big issues I had was with the villain. Like with Ghost Protocol, the villain is possibly the weakest aspect of the film. I mean, he's a little better than the one in Ghost Protocol, because the one in Ghost Protocol, as much as I love that movie, the villain there is almost nondescriptive. You ask me to describe the villain in Ghost Protocol, I could not do it for the life of me. So this one is a little better, but I didn't think he was just all that interesting. I mean, he does have a backstory that makes him a little more compelling, but there was something about this villain that just didn't click for me. I'd be hard-pressed to describe it, but he just came across as a little generic. The movie does have some pacing issues also. There are points where the movie feels a little too slow, and it just drags the movie down. Unlike Ghost Protocol, where every second of that movie was like boom, 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 boom. This one, there were a few quiet moments, and a few scenes that were just dragged out too long. The quiet moments I could take, but there were just a few points there where the movie dragged. And then the script. Like, look, none of the Mission Impossible movies, at least the ones that I've seen, have had very good scripts. Like, Ghost Protocols wasn't that strong. This one suffers from cheesy dialogue, which I can kind of take cheesy dialogue at points. And this one, I didn't mind it too much, but it's not a fantastic script on the whole, and there are a few moments of implausibility that make me go, that's a little too far-fetched for this kind of series. And none of them are the scene where Tom Cruise is hanging on the side of the plane. That's awesome. That I could buy, but when you actually watching the movie, I'm not spoiling anything, but there isn't really much that happens outside of what you saw in the trailer. Like, it goes on a little longer, but there's no huge payoff like I expected when I saw the footage. But in the end, I gotta say, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is a really great action movie. It's one of the better fifth films I've seen, along with X-Men First Class, and it makes me really want to watch the first 3 Mission Impossible movies for the first time. In my book, Ghost Protocol is the best one because I thought it was a little tighter. The action scenes were a lot more creative and suspenseful, and Brad Bird just gave it a really cool style. This one, it's a really good action movie. There isn't much style to it, but it's definitely fantastic and worth seeing in your lifetime. It's got great chemistry with the characters. Tom Cruise, Jeremy Renner, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Rebecca Ferguson, and Alec Baldwin are all great in the movie. It's something that you should definitely check out, and it's one of the better movies you'll see this summer, honestly. And that's my review for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought of the movie, if you've seen it. What did you think? Like, subscribe, share me with your friends. And this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one.